Once upon a time, in a sprawling green countryside dotted with farms and forests, life moved at a gentle pace. Here, animals were the heart of the community. Cows grazed peacefully, sheep dotted the hillsides, and goats explored with cheerful curiosity. Birds filled the air with song, and horses worked alongside the farmers. These animals were not just part of the landscape. They were essential partners to the people and vital to the balance of nature. But a quiet worry was spreading through this idyllic scene. Many of the animals were weak. They seemed to fall sick more often than they should, and their numbers were slowly, but surely, decreasing. The farmers, who cared deeply for their animals, watched with growing concern. They tried everything they knew, using traditional methods passed down through generations. But the problem persisted. It felt like they were fighting a losing battle against an invisible enemy. Just when hope began to fade, a new light appeared on the horizon. Science and technology. It arrived not with a loud bang, but as a quiet promise of new beginnings. Scientists and veterinarians, driven by a passion for life, began to arrive in the countryside. They weren't there to replace the old ways, but to understand them better. They started by simply observing, spending countless hours studying the animals. They wanted to learn everything. How a calf grows into a strong bull, what specific nutrients a sheep needs to produce thick wool, and how diseases, once they start, can spread like wildfire through a flock. They meticulously recorded data, analyzed patterns, and pieced together the intricate puzzle of animal life. This deep, scientific understanding was the foundation upon which they would build a new era of animal care. The first major breakthrough came in the field of animal breeding. For centuries, farmers had relied on instinct and luck to choose which animals would become parents. But now, technology offered a more precise approach. Using genetic analyses and health screening, they could identify the strongest, healthiest individuals. These weren't necessarily the biggest or the prettiest, but the ones with the best natural resistance to disease and the most robust constitutions. This scientific selection process meant that the next generation of animals was born with a significant head start. Calves were sturdier, lambs were more resilient, and foals grew into powerful, healthy horses. The change was gradual, but undeniable. The very foundation of the animal populations was becoming stronger, one healthy birth at a time. It was a silent revolution, happening in the barns and fields, promising a brighter future for every creature. Following closely behind breeding improvements was the dawn of modern veterinary medicine. This was a gift. Before, an outbreak of disease could devastate an entire farm, leaving heartbreak and loss in its wake. But now, scientists developed vaccines. These simple injections could train an animal's immune system to fight off dangerous diseases before they even took hold. It was like giving each animal a tiny, invisible shield. Deadly illnesses that once spelled certain doom became preventable. Furthermore, new diagnostic tools allowed veterinarians to see inside an animal's body without causing harm. Portable ultrasound machines could check on an unborn foal, and rapid blood tests could pinpoint an infection in minutes, not days. This meant that treatments could be administered quickly and accurately, often stopping a minor issue from becoming a major crisis. The veterinarian was no longer just a healer of the sick, but a guardian of health. But health isn't just about avoiding disease. It's also about good nutrition. And here, too, science and technology made a profound impact. Scientists began to analyze the nutritional content of different feeds, figuring out the perfect blend of proteins, fats, carbohydrates, vitamins, and minerals for each species at every stage of life. A young, growing piglet has different needs than a mother cow producing milk. With this knowledge, they developed precisely formulated, balanced feeds. These weren't just random grains mixed together. They were scientifically designed diets. The results were astonishing. Animals grew faster and stronger, but they also had more energy. They were more active, their coats were shinier, and they lived longer, more comfortable lives. Good nutrition became the fuel that powered this new wave of animal well-being, proving that what an animal eats is just as important as the medicine it receives. The innovation didn't stop at medicine and food. It transformed the very environments where the animals lived. On T-Farm's smart technology began to make daily work easier for the farmers and life better for the animals. Imagine barns, where the temperature and ventilation are automatically adjusted to stay perfect day and night. Sensors could monitor an animal's movement and eating habits, alerting the farmer via their smartphone if a cow seemed unwell or wasn't eating properly. This allowed for early intervention, often before the animal showed any obvious signs of distress. Automated systems provided a constant supply of fresh, clean water, a simple but critical element for health. Shelters were redesigned to be more spacious, cleaner, and more comfortable, reducing stress and promoting natural behaviors. Technology wasn't making farming less personal. It was freeing up the farmers from repetitive chores so they could spend more quality time observing and caring for their animals. And the benefits of this scientific revolution reached far beyond the farm gates, deep into the wild forests and vast plains. Ecologists and conservationists began using amazing new tools to protect wildlife. Tiny, lightweight GPS trackers could be fitted onto endangered animals, from majestic eagles to elusive snow leopards. These devices allowed scientists to track their movements, understand their habitats, and identify threats without disturbing them. This data was crucial for creating protected areas and safe migration corridors. In cases where populations had dropped to critically low levels, science offered another lifeline: conservation breeding centers. In these safe havens, rare animals could be cared for and encouraged to reproduce. Away from predators and poachers, genetic management ensured a healthy, diverse population, which could then be reintroduced back into the wild. Technology became a powerful ally in the race to save species from extinction. Slowly but surely, the entire countryside was transformed. The constant worry that had shadowed the community began to lift. The fields and barns were once again filled with the sounds of healthy, thriving animals. More baby animals were being born, and crucially, more were surviving into adulthood. The cows gave richer milk, the sheep grew thicker wool, and the horses worked with renewed vigor. The farmers were happy, their livelihoods secure. But the change was deeper than just economics. The balance of nature felt restored. With healthier domestic animals, the pressure on wild populations eased. The entire ecosystem seemed to breathe a collective sigh of relief. The village elders, who had seen so much change in their long lives, would watch the healthy herds and flocks, a gentle smile on their faces. They would often say, "Science and technology did not replace nature. They became nature's helping hands." It was a profound truth. The goal was never to control or conquer the natural world, but to work with it, to understand its delicate systems, and to provide support where it was needed most. And so, science and technology became the silent guardians of the countryside, the quiet partners that worked behind the scenes. They ensured that the animals could not only survive, but truly flourish, growing in number, multiplying in health, and thriving for all the generations yet to come. The story of this village serves as a beautiful reminder for us all. When we use our knowledge and our tools with wisdom and compassion, we have the incredible power to help care for all life on Earth, protecting its precious diversity and ensuring a brighter future for every living creature. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.